Dave Seaman is back in the studio for another Dave Day. He's the Standard Speaker sports editor, and he's been covering Hazleton area baseball. In fact, we record these segments on Monday, and you're heading to their 6A state playoff game, Dave, against Downingtown East. So if you want results from that and some other coverage, make sure you're reading the Standard Speaker this week. You also covered their district championship game back on Memorial Day, another comeback for these Cougars. And then you had a piece on Frank Chick de Gaetano. And in both of those pieces, you mentioned Coach Russ Kanzler saying having faith in the unknown, something he was talking to his team about. What does he mean when he's saying all that, Dave?
That he has a lot of trust in his players to be ready for any situation, and it's obvious that they've been prepared to come into the state playoffs where they've had a lot of close games during the regular season, especially late in the season, able to overcome a lot of deficits and just trust yourself, trust your at bat. When you're pitching, trust your arm, and playing defense. You put your glove on your hand that you're going to make the play, and he's had that faith in his players since the beginning of the season, since he actually got the job last September, and it's been rewarded because the Cougars have played very well all season, and more often than not, they've come out on top. This team has clicked from the beginning of the season. Coach Kanzler brought in that mindset that they can do whatever they set their minds to. Obviously inherited a lot of talent. There's a lot of talent that came back. The players bought into to working hard and to sharing roles, because he's used a lot of different players. It doesn't seem that there's any jealousy on the team when players have stepped up, and it doesn't matter if it's a senior and junior, sophomore class is talented, but they've waited their turn. But when they've gotten their chances, they made the most of their opportunity, that's for sure.
And Dave, speaking of unselfish play, when I was with the Lady Cougar softball team, they're also playing on this Monday after winning a District's 2-4 sub-regional championship. I was talking with Tiana Trion, and I said a highlight from this season. What's been a highlight you're really proud of? And here was her response. Tiana, you just got your 100th hit, correct?
Yeah.
Would that be it, or was there something else that happened this year?
No, it wouldn't be that. I think it would actually be winning the Tunkhannock game or Emmaus game, just because I'm more of a team player. I don't really care what I do personally. Yeah, I want to do good, but it's more of a team effort than anything.
Dave, very much about this Lady Cougar team as well. Tiana Trion saying, no, I enjoy when my teammates are celebrating when I could celebrate with them. Probably a big key for their success.
There's no doubt about it. I mean, these girls have played together now. The most of that core has played together now since their state championship final run of 2 years ago. Added some pieces last year as freshmen, and those freshmen now sophomores. Olivia Wolk, Julia Mooney, Julia Morocco. Those girls have played sensational softball. Gianna Gambita. I mean, the list goes on. Then you throw in that junior class, and lest we forget, there's only one senior on that whole team. So what you're seeing this year, you're probably going to see more of next year, because these girls can play softball. But like I said, it's a team atmosphere. They have a lot of fun. They laugh and they smile, and it obviously helps when you're winning as well.
Dave, let's talk some Penn State football right now. So they lose Julian Fleming on the recruiting trail. He's going to go to Ohio State. Some of my Penn State fan friends not too happy about this, I'm sure, in the community. He's a big 5-star recruit from the state of Pennsylvania. James Franklin talking about dominate the state. This comes on the heels of losing Tommy Stevens to the transfer portal. There's a bit of a quarterback competition with him and Sean Clifford. Dave, panic button in Happy Valley, or is this, hey, okay, he's an 18-year-old kid, he's going somewhere else?
No, I just think it shows that, the quality. I mean, Julian Fleming had to make a choice, and for him, the best choice was Ohio State, and more power to him. That's, he thought it was his best choice. I guess if you're a Penn State fan, what really stings is the fact that he's visited Penn State several times. His girlfriend goes to Penn State. But he had to make his own decision. It's not like the cupboard is bare for James Franco to Penn State as well. I mean, they do have they didn't really show it all that much last year. KJ Hamler a little bit, but Justin Shorter's coming back after an injury-plagued season last year. You have Jahan Dotson, another outstanding receiver too. So there's going to be some competition there for those wide receiver spots. There's a lot of talent there, and the same Penn State fans that will complain losing on Julian Fleming when Micah Parsons came in too. That was a big get too. He didn't go anywhere else. He stayed home, and something tells me too that the defense is going to lead the charge this year. And you have players like Micah Parsons, who's an all-world talent, leading the way. You have a lot of talent returning there. So you don't have to press the panic button yet if you're a Penn State fan. If it signals a start of a trend where a lot more players are going en masse to Ohio State, to Michigan's, you're going to lose those players every now and then, because, I mean, face it or not, Penn State fans have to accept the fact Ohio State is a power, and they're going to get their players. So is Michigan, so is Notre Dame, Alabama. Clemson's doing a phenomenal job recruiting. So, I mean, you got to compete with those people, and as long as you're getting your share of talent year in, year out, which James Franklin has done, you're going to compete. Now you got to take another step up on the field, but that's another story.
And let's close, Dave. Dino Alberto comes in here and does segments, writes for the Standard Speaker. He got the vote in the NASCAR Hall of Fame this year. He had a great piece in the Standard Speaker about his experience. Said he was proud, Dave, to represent the Standard Speaker when he was there. What a career Dino has had, and just another feather in his cap. And Dave, what I'm really impressed by with Dino is that no matter how big he gets or who he talks with on the one column, he's talking with all these NASCAR greats. And right next to that in the Standard Speaker, next to his Hall of Fame column, was a story about a local guy, Joey Biazzi, and he always keeps that in mind, always remembers the locals as well. For local coverage throughout the week, make sure you're turning to the Standard Speaker and us here at SSP TV News.